Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Waller's Wallet, and in this video, I'm going to tell you how I booked 2 adults and 1 lap infant to London for $0 out of pocket. But first, if you're new to the channel, this channel is all about credit cards, credit card rewards, and showing you how to use your points and miles to travel for less. So if those are topics that interest you, consider subscribing to the channel and turning the bell notifications on as well. Now, if you followed my award booking demonstrations, you'll know I have told you many times that transferring your points to fly coach to the UK is usually a terrible value for your points. But that still doesn't mean you shouldn't look, because you should always be comparing prices between award flights and even the cash price. Now, the first place I started to look for my flights to London was actually over on Google Flights, because this gave me a baseline cost to compare when searching at award flights. And when I searched Google Flights, you can see the cheapest option was actually Virgin Atlantic at only $776. But I felt the flight times actually weren't great, because it lands around 8 p.m. at night, so I basically lose the entire day and I would still need to purchase a hotel or Airbnb for that night. Or you can see by spending less than $100 more, I actually land in London in the morning, and that actually prevents me from redeeming points for a hotel room. So I decided that British Airways flight was going to be my baseline. So I decided to take a look to see if it were possible to get a better deal transferring my points. And that's because there's actually some good transfer bonuses going on at the moment. And when looking to transfer my points, everything came down to the same issue. Paying the taxes and fees on the award flight were almost as expensive as paying for the flight itself. And that does not include the points I would need to transfer, meaning it would be overall more expensive to transfer my points to use them as an award flight. And there were options like Flying Blue, which looked good to fly to London, but in order to add a lap child to a Flying Blue award flight, it needs to be flown on Air France or KLM Metal. And even then, it was overall more expensive in terms of point cost, since the cheapest option was on a Delta Metal flight. Plus, I had non-stop options available to me, and the Air France KLM option didn't require a stop. So after looking at my options, I decided I was not going to transfer my points to make this booking. It just wasn't a smart move. The value in transferring here was not a great one, plus I had other ways to book, saving myself a lot of points for future trips as well. Now, I decided to use my altitude reserve points since I had enough points in my account to do so, and redeeming at 1.5 cents per point was actually a pretty solid option for this booking. And when it came to redeeming my points, I had the option of redeeming through their travel portal or using the real-time mobile rewards, and I actually opted for the real-time mobile rewards. The reason being, by using real-time mobile rewards, I'm going to earn credit card points for this booking since I'm actually paying for this flight. If I were to book through the travel portal, I would not have earned any extra points because it would have reduced my cost up front, meaning I would have had a $0 charge to my credit card. And the 2,673 points I should earn are worth about $40 as well. And since this is a paid fare, I'm even going to earn airline miles for this flight. Now, when it came to booking this flight, I actually selected the basic economy fare. I selected it actually to see what the cost would be to select my seats, since they said there would be a charge to pick my seat if I wanted to. And since we don't check bags, I really didn't care that I was not going to receive a checked bag for this flight. But as I was going through the booking process to see what the cost would be, something actually pretty funny happened. Because when I got to seat selection, British Airways told me I could select my seat for free. And I found this pretty interesting since the screen before told me it would charge me a fee. So I decided to select the seats to see if it was actually free to do so. And when it came to picking seats, the plane we're flying actually had a main deck and an upper deck, and the configuration was different between them. The main deck in coach is a 343 configuration, which personally I'm not a fan of, and I avoid it if I can. But the upper deck was a 2x4x2 configuration, and there were plenty of 2 seats available. And picking the upper deck was a no-brainer because not only do I not have to sit by somebody else, but if my son decides he wants to spread out some, we won't be impacting anyone else's flight. And after I selected my seats, sure enough, it priced out at $0 for seat selection, which means the only benefit I'd be losing is a checked bag, which I mentioned earlier, I really don't care about. Once I saw the seat selection was $0, it really solidified my decision to book this basic economy ticket. And since this ticket was $891.01, it was only going to cost me 59,401 altitude reserve points for all of us to fly to London, which was perfectly fine since I had just over 63,000 points in my account. And really, to put that into perspective, a typical coach award ticket to Europe is between 50,000 to 60,000 points round trip plus taxes and fees per adult. So I'm flying my family to Europe for less than the cost of one adult on a typical award ticket, which I actually think is a great redemption. And about a minute after I completed payment for this flight, I received a text message from US Bank telling me I could redeem 59,401 points to cover my charge. All I needed to do was respond with redeem. So I did, and about a minute later, I received another text message saying that my point redemption was successful. And what I really liked about the real-time mobile reward was the fact that that real-time reward was already showing up in my account, even though that airline charge was still pending. And I thought that was pretty awesome. And those are pretty much the steps on how I ended up booking my flights to London. So by combining a cheap fare with my altitude reserve points, that's how I'm flying my family to London for $0 out of pocket. So tell me, what do you think of my redemption, and would you have done anything different? Hey, if you like this video, consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you know somebody who might benefit from this video, feel free to share it with them. And if you want to help support the channel, a simple way is to use the links on the website or in the description below. And if you like learning about credit cards, points, miles, cashback, or just flat out traveling for less, consider the subscribe button down below. And until next time, safe travels and take care.